Someone has a particular truth that they're trying to decide if it's worth it to reveal what they know or not. I feel like it's a bit of a tricky situation. They have a truth about a particular devil. Part of them may feel like it might not be worth the investment of coming up and out with this truth, because if they do, it might not gain them anything. Okay, so already there's sort of like a little bit of a warped perspective there as far as should I tell this truth. I do feel like it's important for a certain truth to be known, but the person who's in possession of this truth, who would perhaps be the best person to deliver it, is wondering if it's worth the investment to tell the truth, because what is it going to get them? So that's already an interesting place to enter the field of truth, wondering what you're going to get out of it by telling the truth, especially when it's something that feels like it should come up and out. This is interesting. There also may be some kind of concern about backlash with this particular devil. I do feel like there's something tricky involved in this situation. So let's dive into it. Let's see what this is about and get some more details. All right, let's check it out, man. We're heading up to that interesting time this Sunday, just 4 days from now. We are going to hit the Taurus new moon. We're also going to be dealing with the Mars-Pluto opposition. So get ready. It's about to get rocking and rolling, all right? This is when things will come to a head. This is when there will be those towers, those breakthrough moments. This is when things will not be able to sort of hold their peace, especially in cases where there's a certain truth that needs to come up and out, 2:22 on the clock. There may be some realization that the truth will be known, whether one comes up and out with it or not. That could be the way this particular person is being tested. It's like, it's going to come up and out. So if you sort of like hold back from playing that hand and revealing what you know in a situation, you may be worried that if you share, it's going to compromise you. It's actually potentially the opposite. See, somebody's really worried about how a particular truth will be received. And it's sort of like spirit issuing a challenge here, saying that it's something charged to you to come up and out with this truth. And it is sort of what's hanging in the balance here as far as how things will play out for you. It's all about how you play your hand right now. This could be a situation where there's a few people involved and someone's concerned that they might get some backlash in some way, or it could compromise something for them. They might feel it's better to sit this one out. I don't think somebody likes being put in this position. Spirit, they don't like being put in this position. I mean, what do you have to say about that? Spirit was very quick to come up and out with that, okay? I don't think they like being put in this position. Oh, yeah, somebody's really not wanting to be put in this position. And there's that 3 energy, okay? So they could be sort of concerned. It's like, heavy is the head that wears the crown, King of Wands. You know, you hold a certain power in your hands. That power is a certain truth, you know, a truth that needs to be made evident here. But there might be some concern of a couple others being sort of like cast out if this King of Wands makes this truth known. May bring them some kind of injury in some way, and he's very concerned about this. Could be some great financial loss as well. I do see, though, that this particular king has turned his back on 2 here. There's sort of something he's seen here. He didn't see it before, but it's one of those things that's like, once this got lit up, there's kind of no way to sort of shove it down. I feel like this is something that is really inciting this King of Wands to take some kind of action. But for some reason, there's some question here about, what do I get out of it? Is it worth it? And yet I feel like it's a test from spirit here. I mean, what do you get out of it? Liberation, freedom from all of that stuff that's been weighing you down, everything that's been keeping you cloaked in the shadow, everything that's been having you deal with all these sort of like clandestine situations where nothing's up front, where you don't really know who you can trust, and there's so much gray area that you may as well just sort of like cash it in, because you don't even know what you're fighting for here anymore. 5:55 on the clock. Yeah, there's a particular devil in this situation, and the devil's in the details here. There could be a Capricorn connected here. It's possible. There could also be something like the glaring eye of scrutiny here, something about the visibility. Once the truth comes out, there's a certain visibility there. And perhaps that's what concerns this King of Wands. But I see that it actually is the very thing that sort of helps them cast something off of them that's been put on them for too long. And it returns them to more of a state of optimism after a time of maybe really dealing with a lot of heavy stuff, man. I feel like there's something here that makes one feel like they're kind of back in their element, back in their essence. Okay, fire signs coming through strong here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Mars is going to be in Leo with that opposition, okay? So this is some interesting energy that's coming to a head here. We have to remember that the last new moon we had was in Aries. And so that's going to be coming to a head with this oppositional energy with the new moon in Taurus here. Somebody's worried about losing here. Also, if they come up and out with the truth, there's the concern about injury to a couple others, perhaps that they're connected to. Perhaps one of these individuals will be injured more than the other because they're the devil in this situation, but there was like a certain loyalty in play at one time. There could be concern about financial loss. And maybe loss of concealment too. It's like, and with that, I just saw a bee outside the windows. Oh, there's the swarm. There's the swarm. Oh, then the swarm will come after them, be hot on their tail too. Okay. Yeah, there's something about this. Perhaps this King of Wands is a bit of a wizard and has been working with a cloak of imperceptibility, impenetrability. They got some cloaking that's been in play for a while here. They've been moving really beneath the surface of things. Ooh. Could currently be tied to these two, but actually has already started to head in a new direction. They're not aware of this yet. This King of Wands too may want to do like a big reveal, like ta-da, you know? Oh, sort of like pulling the curtain up on these two, might be plotting like some kind of big reveal, revealing the truth, biding their time with revealing the truth. Perhaps that's what they're considering. What is the best time to do this? This exposure, okay? There's a certain, I'm picking it up around this King of Wands, that there's a certain like playfulness there, like there's almost a delight in this, even though it looks like it will cause a couple others injury here. I mean, it brings warmth to the King of Wands' life, where there's been some kind of frigid cold that's set over. It makes them feel young and like they're coming back to life again. There's some enthusiasm here, and there's something relish too about like the big reveal. I call that. Okay, what is this? Give me more details about this spirit. What is this about? What's this big reveal about? Well, we can't tell you what the big reveal is about, and that would spoil it, wouldn't it now? Okay, interesting. All right. Ooh, what is this? Look at something that's currently concealed. A suspect approach with the King of Cups in reverse. Coming to court, or is it to court some trouble? Oh, manipulation. This King of Wands is heading in a particular direction with a manipulation in mind to come forward in such a way that he is courting someone, or perhaps he is actually courting someone and binding them to that rock where they will suffer the fate of the eagle coming to feast on their liver daily. I mean, there's a bit of grudge, ire kind of energy here. This person is working with seduction, maybe kind of a let's make a deal sort of energy. Maybe to even tag team against two. Maybe approaching someone like, help me take these two down. But there's still setup energy in it. Like whoever this King of Wands is approaching, it's a manipulation. It could be a ruse. I'm sensing some kind of deception here. I'm sensing some kind of deception. Tell me, why is this approach manipulative, Spirit? What's going on with this? Knight of Cups in reverse energy. What is this? I mean, this person does feel like they have something to gain with this advance, perhaps by making what could be seen as a future compromising arrangement. Ooh, with the High Priestess there on the bottom of the deck. Secretive matters. This feels like this is a particular wizard that wants to team up with a High Priestess to handle a couple of the riffraff here, but in some way, there's like a need to be subversive about the approach. I feel because there's still like this jockeying for position, you know? There is. I'm picking up this energy here. What is this? Somebody wants to barter here with the Page of Pentacles coming in with the Ace of Pentacles to the King of Swords. Okay? Somebody's trying to negotiate something here. It looks like two kings in play. King of Wands approaching a King of Swords. Perhaps coming off like, let's work together on this. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal here. But I feel like there's a jockeying for position, sort of like this King of Wands may want to utilize the King of Swords because of some kind of advantage they have right now that the King of Wands lacks. The King of Wands lacks because of two that they're connected to. It sort of like weighs them down in a way or puts them in a tight spot. They may have even lost something, like lost something financially being tied to these two, which is why there's the approach to this King of Swords. This King of Swords seems to already have a certain truth in their possession. They also seem to have some kind of resources here too, with the Ace of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles here. There's something about teaching a lesson too. So I feel like it seems like maybe there might be what could be considered like a truce. Okay, that's what it feels like a truce between these two kings. But each of them, though there's a truce here, it's very compromised, okay? Because it very quickly could be a tables turning kind of moment. And with the High Priestess here, there's definitely secretive matters involved. Secretive matters involved. Something is being done behind the scenes. Also, somebody possesses like secret insight or knowledge into this situation that the other lacks. That's what I feel. Give me more details about this. Now we got air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming out here. Okay, what do we got? Somebody's wanting to experience fulfillment here, okay? But I feel like there's strategy in play in this situation with the Page of Swords. And yes, it does look like with the King of Swords here, there's sort of like this energy of putting a certain strategy in play. Maybe even wanting like teach somebody a lesson. That's what it feels like. But there's like question about who really does have that upper hand. Because if you look at the way that it's sort of presenting itself here, this is how it's showing up on the board. It's like you would automatically associate the Page of Swords with the King of Swords, right? But it's actually facing in the same direction as the King of Wands. It could be there's a High Priestess that's attached to this King of Wands, and that's a little bit of the ace up the sleeve that the King of Swords is not aware of. But it could be that the King of Swords in some way feels like they have a higher ranking, status, position, or something that how can I say this? Something that provides them with a field advantage, you could say. I also feel like they have access to some kind of knowledge that the King of Wands lacks. And there's sort of this energy of there can only be one victor here. Like, I do see sort of like a monetary piece out here on the board. So it's like only one to have the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Something has been delayed here. I do feel like it's been a while since these two kings have sat at the same bargaining table. I feel like they have bargained before, and there's something bitter that went down there that caused them to sort of like divide loyalties. But now this King of Wands is in a tight spot and can't ignore that they've gotten themselves in this position by breaking perhaps with this King of Swords to partner up with these other two here. Seems like there's been like some big financial loss, and so needs the support of this King of Swords in order to get out of this position too. So it's sort of like, you know, a battle of egos. One goes another direction. Is like, fine, you know, I don't need you. I can do this without you. Thinking you teamed up with the dream team here, and then you realize, well, that wasn't the smartest move there. Now I got to go and kind of like kiss up. I can see that. I got to go kiss up. I got to go eat some crow, approach the King of Swords here. And that could feel pretty compromising, but it could also be like the reason why there's some other plan in play with this King of Wands. There is a strategy they got here. I feel that, okay? At the heart of it, you know, there's something here that's been bitter. It's been bitter. Okay, tell me why has it been so bitter? What is this about? Give me more details about this. Oh, because there can only be one on top. It is a jockeying for position with the 7 of Wands here, right? So there's competition between these two kings, and there can only be one. There can only be one who takes that top position. And so they're duking it out here. And then here we got the King of Cups. Okay, so now we got a third king on the scene with the Wheel of Fortune here. So there's been some kind of truth discovered here in a situation. And maybe this is what the King of Swords has discovered. King of Cups coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like they're the ones who know about like some tricky devilish energy in play here. They've spotted out the details of a situation. They cracked the code. They've solved the riddle. They've gotten some kind of knowledge here. They have some kind of receipts. Could even be like a fixed sign energy connected here. We got Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. We also have all the water signs there. So emphasis on Scorpio here with the King of Cups coming out. Could potentially be like even an Ophiuchus energy here with the Wheel of Fortune, that's Sagittarian card. Also, this has something to do with wanting to move into greater expansion, wanting to take the field, like wanting to be the victor in a situation. There can only be one. Ooh. And there is the 8 of Swords coming in with that Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's trying to like sort through what's illusion, what's true. And with this, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, this could very well be a battle royale between 2 wizards. And there can only be one who claims the throne as the High Lord Wizard of all. I could see that because I can see this as like there's been workings thrown around, casting a lot of confusion, a lot of illusion, a lot of glamour. But somebody here has cut through that. I mean, the King of Swords has cut through some kind of illusion. They do have an ace up their sleeve that the King of Wands lacks. And they do have something that they learned here. They do. They might be, I see too, I see this. It's like, here comes King of Wands, right? Coming through in a sort of manipulative way, making peace. And I feel like this King of Swords is receiving the approach like the King of Cups, like amicably, you know? Yes, let's partner on this. But it's like they're both playing each other. It's just they have different ends in mind, okay? But it's still like a pissing contest. Also, I think that this King of Swords knows the truth of the situation, spots the manipulation with the approach. This King of Wands sort of approaching like a Knight of Cups, like really wanting to work things out, wanting to squash a certain disagreement, partner to like bring 2 down here, right? But this King of Swords is playing like they're not already aware of seeing through the deception of the approach. It's almost like they're kind of playing, maybe they're playing like they're in like a weaker position than they actually are. I could see that. They could be acting like putting on a false front, like, oh, I don't know what's going on, you know, sort of like playing stupid. like they don't have certain information. And maybe the King of Wands here knows that they have access to some information. That may be the thing that the King of Swords doesn't know here. This is an interesting dynamic playing out here. Okay, I could certainly see this too, like these could be business competitors as well. Money's definitely on the table. Ace of Swords, bottom of the deck here. It all comes down to somebody knows the truth in a situation. And they're wondering about the timing of sharing that truth, because it's almost like once they share that truth, there's going to be like a counter strike. And so they're going to have to take swift, decisive action to take the field. That's what I got. That's what I got. And it's sort of like it's just dawning. It feels like on this King of Wands that they've attached themselves to something that weakens their position. And that's why they need to get access to this truth, because they know that this King of Swords knows something they don't know. They're out of the loop. And yet they're both sitting at the bargaining table with each other. I see it, but they're both playing each other. It's really kind of funny. And I think they both know that too. They both know that the other knows. So there's nothing that's like sort of really truly concealed here. Okay, but it just might be the way they're kind of like presenting it to each other. Like, why do I feel like it's like they're both putting on a false front, and yet they both know that the other will know that they're putting on a false front, and yet they feel committed to doing that anyway. And now we got the King of Pentacles here with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is like, cut the chit chat, man. Let's get down to business. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. And I don't feel like these two don't feel like they're teamed up. It's more like an approach. It's more like an approach here. It's interesting to me. It feels like this Queen of Swords is sort of like the odd man out here. And now it's coming up that the King of Pentacles is over here on this King of Wands side. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We got everybody on the board. So what I really got here is there can only be one emperor. There can only be one empress. It's like that kind of energy. Who's the real emperor here? Who's the real empress? Interesting, interesting. But we do have a Queen of Swords here that's sort of in the receiving position, has a truth. It's like, state your case, man. And you know, it does kind of have those vibes, especially because of, you know, the King of Swords here too, being aligned with this Ace of Pentacles. It is sort of like this energy of like, all right, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. So I could also see this as like a feminine taking on a more masculine role as well. Maybe sort of having to play like a King of Swords. Also, there could be the piece here. I think that still plays in, but there could be this piece here where the common denominator here between the King of Wands and the King of Swords is this Queen of Swords. And we certainly have the King of Pentacles here, and we have the King of Cups. But I'm almost feeling like these are more like representations of sort of the energies that these current kings hold. We got a King of Wands that also holds Earth. And then we got a King of Swords that also holds Cups. And they each need what the other has. They each need what the other has in order to take the field, you see, because you have to have all four elemental empowerments to be the emperor or be the empress. So the King of Swords has some kind of truth, and the King of Swords also has that Ace of Pentacles. So they already got some kind of resources. With the King of Cups energy here, they also have experienced some kind of healing. They may also have some kind of creative property, something that they hold, something that perhaps is a labor of love or something they've been pouring their time and energy into to build here. This could be like a brilliant idea, like something that could bring a lot of money. And it looks like they're the ones who possess this, whatever this is. This King of Wands wants to know what this is about, wants to find out more about that. Maybe wants to partner on that because they sort of hitched themselves to these other two here. That was a real losing proposition. I feel like this King of Wands started out in a strong financial position, and then through kind of aligning with the wrong people here, they lost something big time. So it's like wanting to know, like trade secrets. Okay, I could see that. Wanting to know trade secrets. And knowing that who they're dealing with, they're going to have to approach in such a way where they might have to sort of cast a little illusion and maybe try to get this person confused so they will reveal that hand. And yet it's sort of like already known that that's what the approach will involve, which is why you've got this kind of Queen of Swords energy that's like, cut the crap, cut to the chase, and just, let's make a deal. Like, what are you here for? What do you want? It's interesting, very interesting energy. And with that, we've got the Queen of Pentacles comes in with that King of Pentacles. See, these two are on the same side. There we go. Just marked them. King of Wands is experiencing some kind of injury. I got to the area of finances. Also, some stress related to this person they're partnered with here, the Queen of Pentacles. Approaching this King of Swords. Who moved away from this situation, but the fact that they moved away from this situation compromised these two here. So it could have been the three of them were working together at one point, and this King of Swords became aware of a certain truth. Also became aware of a certain reality that they didn't need these two, I feel. That's kind of how it's coming through. Like, I don't need you. You need me. It's the other way around. I could see that, okay? And so they took a risk. They did something a little tricky here. They did. They played some tricks, maybe tricks that even got these two caught up. Like they totally like got them caught up in a trap of their own making, sort of like played their own hand against them. So there could be a little get back energy too from this King of Wands is bitter about this, right? Bitter about this. I'm seeing this differently too. Look at this Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords behind her. Look, it's like, I feel like this Queen of Swords is covered here. This looks like she's got eyes in the back of her head. She's like a central figure in this reading. Air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Earth over here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right. Any further details about this? I don't think this approach has happened yet. They're resting on it right now. Somebody's trying to consider, how should I step forward with this? Should I step forward with this? It's sort of like, I feel like there's almost a little bartering here too. Like, if I give a little truth here, is it going to compromise my position? Or will this person give me what I need? It's like both these people need a certain truth that only they possess, but there's like some negotiation around it. Because somebody doesn't want to get caught up. Somebody doesn't want to get caught up. That's what I got. Knight of Wands. Crossing energy. Yeah, somebody's really like, I don't want to rush ahead with this. I don't want to act too impulsively, because if I do this, I could really get burned here. Oh yeah, judgment on that. See, but somebody is trying to get, out of a tight spot here. Sagittarian energy here. Okay, that goes over with this Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's trying to turn the wheel here. Oh, and here comes the partnering energy with the King of Cups. Got the Queen of Cups here, keeping a lid on their emotions, which are about to boil over here. Kind of pressurized situation. There could be a child connected to this situation too. There could be a pregnancy connected to this situation. It could be a matter that's hidden. That could be a truth that somebody's really wondering if they should speak on that or not. They're afraid if they do, it might cost them some personal gratification, and so they're wanting to avoid the loss of this. Yeah. Right? I feel like also, this is somebody who, like, they want something, but they have to sacrifice something in order to get what they want in this situation. I do feel like it'll be communicated with the Eight of Wands there. Something's going to be communicated either way. I feel that. I feel like it will come up and out either way. So it really is a matter of timing, because if one delays too long and then the truth comes up and out, it's like they totally screw themselves. And if one gives the truth too soon, it could work against them in the sense that it allows the other to put a certain strategy in play where they could lose big. Okay, let me do a cover deck here. See what we got. Oh, the Hangman. Okay, Piscean energy. Double Pisces energy with the Eight of Cups. So see, they haven't taken a particular action yet. They've invested a lot in a situation. A lot potentially also in a certain orchestration here. They want to win big, but there's sort of this energy of, should I invest in like coming up and out with the truth? Because if I illuminate the truth, I might get caught up. I might end up the Hangman. That's going to be a terrible burden for me. And this could even have something to do with sort of now the energy whipping back around, going back to, this being like a battle royale between some magicians here. This could even be like sort of the whip around energy of a lot of workings that were thrown here too. Okay, we did have that High Priestess come out. I do feel like, see, here's all the aces coming in now. We have the Ace of Cups with the Ace of Swords, but see, there's that Eight of Pentacles in between it, which it really is like, there's been, how can I put this? There's been a lot of liberty taken with the truth here. There's been a lot of manipulation around the truth. Something's really been spun and orchestrated in a certain way. And there is somebody here, I feel, that does wonder if they really should like come clean, because they feel like if they do, it's really going to get them caught up. It also means they have to sacrifice some kind of personal gain or gratification here. Could even be they have to like give up some money, maybe because the money they got was through unethical means. And yet it's sort of like they're going to be caught up either way. I really got that. they're going to be caught up either way, and it's a matter of timing. Because if you kind of like come up and out with the truth after the truth is outed, then your truth has no power to it. But if you come up and out with the truth and you sort of play your hand, so to speak, and you really stand in it, well, then you got an Ace of Wands here, and it opens the road for you, despite how much somebody may be cautioning you. With the Fool there, the 0 point, the Aries point, the starting point, right? But this is where there's those embattled places within, with that Mars Pluto opposition. It's like, do I rebel? Do I do the rebellious thing? Which actually, in this case, the rebellious thing in this situation, because what I see here is a lot of deception. I see a lot of false fronts. I see a lot of subversive strategy in play. I see a lot, I do see it. There's a lot of indications of like working others, you know. And certainly for the alchemists out there with the high priestess on the scene, like doing a lot of workings too, and it becoming somewhat of an infinite cosmic mess. But at the heart of it, there's something very tangible here too, that's at play. And I do feel like this is one of those cases where to rebel in this situation is to come up and out with it. It is to be honest. It is to be clear. It is to be decisive. And that's actually what secures somebody the road opening and movement forward here with the 8 of Wands. And not just any movement forward, but swift movement too. Ooh, this is interesting energy. It's all about how you play your hand, man. All about how you play your hand. I want to get a little bit of detail on each side here, because it's like we got this King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands energy. This all feels very lumped together here. And then we have this like King of Swords, Queen of Cups energy here. And then in the center of it all, we have this Queen of Swords. So I kind of want to just have a look at these sort of two sides here, and then see what the deal is with this Queen of Swords that has eyes on the back of her head. That's how it's coming out. Let's look at this side of this King of Wands first, okay? King of Wands, Ace of Hearts. Okay, so there is something that this King of Wands desires very much within his heart. He wants to be able to maybe let down some guards here. Something that's been blocking him from experiencing the fulfillment he wants in his heart. He wants some new beginning here. I see it with the Ace of Diamonds. Okay, so this person, this King of Wands, has felt blocked not only in having his desires fulfilled, but also feels blocked, like with finances, feels blocked, having some success rooting something in material reality. It's like, I know what my heart wants, but I haven't been able to make it happen because I feel like I've been blocked. I feel like I've been blocked and I'm not getting the fulfillment. I'm only getting the disappointment here. And so that's why this particular King of Wands is invested, okay? They feel like something's really out of balance here with the 2 of Diamonds coming up in the shadow. They feel like they were on the losing end of a deal in some way and they want to renegotiate. Yeah, sorely disappointed here, lost out big time. This did not turn out well at all. And they do feel like they got duped. They do feel like somebody took advantage of them. With the 7 of Spades here, they feel like somebody did them dirty and played them false. And so they feel like they need to bring a little bit of justice to the situation. with the 6 of diamonds here. They feel like they need to balance something out, because I feel like whatever house of cards was built here, it came crashing down, or it will shortly in a big way, because there's something that's been hidden here. There's hidden contracts here. There's hidden deals. There's deals that were done in the dark, hidden negotiations. Like there's a lot hidden in this situation. And I think that the King of Wands knows that, and knows that this King of Swords has been sort of economic with what they know. Let's say that. And so wants to bring illumination. Wait a minute. This is not the deal we made. This is not what was agreed on here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Any more details about this for this King of Wands side, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles side? A lot of fire and earth on this side over here. Ace of Clubs. I mean, they're using too much force for one thing. The power that they're holding is being used in a distorted way. If this is a case of a little spiritual warfare, they've definitely been throwing some heavy stuff around on the ether. I got confirmation on that. And yeah, and now it's whipping back around their way with the 8 of Clubs in reverse, heading back that direction. So this, it's funny because they may not realize that they're generating that themselves. They're generating that themselves. It's just sort of whipping back around. I mean, maybe they underestimated this person. I'm going to take it through that lens for a moment here in case of spiritual warfare. I feel like they underestimated somebody's aptitude in that arena. None of those arrows hit this individual. They saw through the glamour. They saw through the illusion. They saw the illusion of it that was trying to be projected onto them. And they were able to cut through that. There's some kind of turning of the wheel this King of Swords has already experienced here. I'm really curious about this Queen of Cups energy. I'm going to look into that because of the High Priestess that came out. I just want to get clarification on that character too. These two, Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords. I really want more detail about these two here. Because see, it looks like this Page of Swords, the eyes behind the Queen of Swords back, is sort of looking back at this Queen of Cups here, who also, you notice, has a lid on her emotions, or is holding something in, or is keeping a secret here. And I think intuitively, too, that might be a common interest point here, too. The King of Wands also knows something's up. And maybe is, approaching that direction, get some more details about that has to do so in sort of a little bit of a manipulative way to not reveal their hand if they're to achieve their objective. I see that, okay, with the Ace of Diamonds in the shadow. Because see, they know this King of Swords already has this Ace of Pentacles, and they want this. This King of Swords has something tangibly. They got it. It's in their hand. It could be assets, resources, status, something. They have something this King of Wands wants. But I do feel like there's a kind of commonality here that runs between both sides. And that's this, whoever this High Priestess is, Queen of Cups energy, that's really maybe trying to master their emotions right now, trying to keep a lid on something, trying to contain something, perhaps that could go really out of control in this situation. All right. That feels very clear to me. Tell me about this King of Swords. What do we need to know about this King of Swords, this side over here? Covered by a light card there, so we'll see what that is. More details, more details. Something just flipped up. 8 of diamonds in the light. This person hasn't been throwing around workings. Whoever they've been targeting here doesn't look like they've been throwing any workings. Nope. Jack of spades in the light. Whoever this person is, they've been moving correct. I think this person has their mind on their money on their mind. They've been doing their work. They're building practically here. There's something that they have been very practically developing here, laying the foundation for. Again, there is that piece, like somebody's wanting somebody's trade secrets or wanting access to somebody's resources, something like that. That's why they're approaching them. But this person's got real clear energy on their side. I do want to see what is this about here, though, because I do see, like, at one point there was some kind of confusion, mental, emotional confusion, a little bit of glamour that was thrown in this person's direction, but they were able to see through that deception here with that Wheel of Fortune, a Fiacus kind of energy, maybe in relation to a fixed sign. Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. I say strong Scorpio in this situation. Taurus. What is this about? I want to know what this is about. Spirit, what is this whole, like, glamour, getting caught up, where judgment was called on this situation? What is this? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. It's like what I'm saying. It's like what I'm saying. Look at that. Came out on this side, too. No. The balance is off, man. The price is wrong. Yutch. That's what I just heard. You wanted to throw that my way? No, look. It's flipping up and reversing on the two of you. That's what I see. Look. Joker in reverse. In the light. That evokes that hangman energy that was over there. So somebody here has become aware of the truth. It looks like the King of Swords is becoming aware of a truth, that there's been a lot of manipulation on the side of this King of Wands, understanding they've been tied to other people, that there was some kind of desire to, gain their assets or do some kind of hostile takeover energy, because this King of Swords has something this King of Wands wants. There's like this little bit of a kind of interloper energy with the Queen of Cups, keeping a lid on the emotions here, that does know the truth. Maybe the Queen of Cups is the one who needs to speak this truth, is trying to hold it in, but feels like they're a bit in that hanged man position. Strong Scorpio and very strong Pisces energy. Also, I have to say Cancerian energy too with the High Priestess. It does mark all the water signs. Somebody already knows what the truth is in this situation. But because of the implications of coming up and out with the truth and the way it marks them and requires them to own a certain truth, they're not sure if they should come up and out with it. But the truth will come out either way. Because whatever was done throwing in this direction is getting rerouted currently. It's gonna all come up and out. It's that energy, like everything I did was justified. Both of these people feel this way. And in fact, it could even be this King of Swords turned his back on this King of Wands. Okay, so with this King of Swords, we got all the air sign energy, also strong Virgo energy here too. Somebody cut through some crap and said, no, I'm not going to be part of this, and may have taken some action that caused some problems or some loss for this King of Wands. And that may feel like real dirty pull to this King of Wands over here, but this King of Swords is like, no, it's totally justified. You're the one who's out of balance. I'm calling foul on you. See what I mean? And it's really like, the person who sort of gets the freedom here, gets themselves out of the penalty box, is the one who really knows the timing of dropping a particular truth, because in order for their truth to have power and to have the ability to get them moving forward, get them on the road to what they want, and get them that freedom, they need to ignore the cautions of somebody who keeps telling them to, no, don't do that. See, there's somebody here who doesn't want, could be Queen of Cups, the tight lid on the emotions. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. I mean, Queen of Swords always wants the truth, so I know it's not Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is like, yeah, bring it. You know what I mean? This energy of strategy and such is looking at this Queen of Cups here. What is she hiding? Okay, so I know it's only a matter of time. Somebody's already on the scene, it looks like, sussing this out. But it may be, this energy, also potentially Queen of Pentacles, strong water earth, saying, no, don't do that, don't do that. You do that, you're going to cause a lot of problems. You do that, you're going to cause a lot of problems. But it's because they're afraid of how it'll get them caught up. They don't understand that it's actually the way through. Look at that. It's the way through. Gemini energy coming through here with the Magician. Also, we have some kind of healing here. So I feel like one way or another, it's going to come up and out. Somebody will use that wand. Gemini energy. I mean, this could be a Gemini that knows this truth. It's like, no. I know something foul has gone down here. I know what's happened. I know what happened in the past, and I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. Because if I call it out, then I'm free of this BS. And that actually moves me in an empowered position in this situation. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Moves them forward. Look at that. Cancerian energy, right? With the Chariot there. Moves forward in a big way, very quickly. All obstacles removed. So one way or another, it's like, who's going to beat who to the punch, though? That's what this is really about. Who's going to beat who to the punch with the 7 of Clubs in the shadow? That's what it's about. Okay, I really want to check in on these feminine figures here and see what we got. I'm going to go ahead and just take this Queen of Pentacles here. And we'll look at her too. So we're going to look at the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, all right? At the basis of the matter is two hearts that have been separated here. There's been some kind of separation. There's a desire to alleviate that, where there's been some kind of dispute, some kind of severance of soul contract. There's desire for negotiation here. We got a little bit of that divine trickster energy at play in this situation, because there is some kind of misalignment that does need to be brought to an end. And there is something here that most certainly needs to be caught up with the 8 of Spades. And in some cases, that could even be legally, with it coming out in the shadow like that. Right? Because there is something here that's been sanctioned by Spirit. It's supposed to come into alignment with that 6 of Hearts here. This is about soul contract stuff and the interference and such, okay? Also about something that's been done, shady, potentially around money, finances, could even be something illegal, all right? Let's check out what we got coming in around this Queen of Cups. Tell me about this Queen of Cups. What do we need to know? Looking out quickly. Queen of Cups is connected to this King of Clubs. See? Isn't it interesting though? Queen of Cups is cozied up to this King of Swords energy, but it's connected to the King of Clubs, King of Wands over there. Yep. Why? To cause some kind of loss with the 5 with the 5 of Diamonds. That's what's going to be brought to light. To work somebody, maybe even emotionally manipulate them to gain a hold of something that this King of Swords has in his grasp. He has some kind of tangible assets. This isn't something that's like, oh, it's like something I'm manifesting. No, it's here. It's here, bitch. It's not like out in the ether. This is rooted in material reality. Some kind of status, some kind of position, some kind of authority, some kind of resources that this King of Swords has. This Queen of Cups was sent in by this King of Wands to work this person, to try to get hands on what this King of Swords has. It's very clear. Okay, so that's who they are. They're the Griffin. The Queen of Cups is the Griffin. Yes, yes. The Queen of Cups is the Griffin. And again, it's also connected on that side to the King of Diamonds in the shadow energy. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. They wanted this fulfillment. This is what they want. And they were willing to work someone for it, which is why they partnered with this person. Which, oh man, that's wild. Which the King of Spades / King of Swords is already well aware of, which is why they have a certain power in their hands. Whoa. Well, that answered that. That answered that very clearly. I don't even need to look into that any further. Okay. Tell me about this Queen of Pentacles. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is over on this side, so obviously she's connected to all this, but let's see how. It gives some details about this Queen of Pentacles. Could be a businesswoman too. Queen of Pentacles started to realize this ain't a good thing and has started to distance herself in this situation with the Eight of Hearts coming up in the light. Something came to light that let this Queen of Pentacles know, I might want to look in another direction here, because to head in this direction is just a little too dicey for me. With the Nine of Spades in the shadow there, like something made this Queen of Pentacles look in another direction because she started to get cold feet. She started to get scared. She started to have a lot of anxiety. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. With the Queen of Clubs coming up in the shadow, she started to have a lot of anxiety there. Especially where she was doing some kind of workings. If this person was, throwing around a lot of work too, they're in a position right now where this like anxiety, stress, fear is just starting to hit them. Just starting to hit them. And it's making them feel like, I think I'm reformed now. I think I want to head in another direction. Okay, so I feel like this person is like, I don't know if I even want to mess with this. Yeah. Because whatever went down as a result of their involvement in this situation, it brought them like a lot of confusion. It like really put them up in their head. It's sort of like this could be the person that was trying to work this King of Swords like that, to throw some glamour on them, some confusion, put them up in their head, cause them anxiety. It's like, nope, now they're experiencing that. And I feel like that's making them want to like look in a new direction. They're like, this isn't looking so good as it did at one point. That's what I feel. Yeah. They're begrudgingly though, very, very begrudgingly. They're like putting it on hold, putting it on ice. This may be somebody that tried to put somebody on ice. Tried to put them on ice, to halt this person in their tracks so they could not move forward. Put an end to whatever they were growing here. It didn't work. It's like it's all coming home to roost here. King of Hearts in the shadow. Yeah. Yep. Really burned about that, man. Angry about that. So that kind of connects. That connects to that like Queen of Cups energy is connected through this King of Hearts energy. Wanted a certain fulfillment, did what they felt like they had to do to put things on ice, thwart things, slow them down, to open the road for them. But now whatever manipulation they were using or whatever they were throwing around, it's coming home to roost in the form of big loss, especially financially. I mean, this keeps coming through really strong with this side over here. Okay, tell me about this Queen of Swords. What do we need to know about the Queen of Swords in this situation? Ooh, Jack of Spades in the shadow. Well, she's not willing to be as amicable as the King of Swords, I'll tell you that. Jack of Spades, she's like, do we need to make things more difficult than they have to be? Because I already know a certain truth. This is with the Jack of Spades, this is like pretty like biting energy. Like, I feel like the Queen of Swords is in a position where knowing a certain truth, or maybe about to be illuminated to a certain truth, they may not know it. It's like, who can get the truth to this Queen of Swords first? Once this Queen of Swords has this truth, it doesn't look like a very merciful energy. That's what I'm seeing. The Jack of Spades in the shadow. That's like really like aggressive action. Maybe even using some real harsh words. Woo. Okay, this is where we're getting into that Mars-Pluto opposition. What do we got here? Ooh, this is that energy like, bitch better have my money. I see that. Oh, you pulled some funny stuff with my money? You thought you were going to get away with that? Oh. No. You thought that I would just say, oh, okay, that's fine. You three just run off, do what you want to do. I'll just accept it. I'll just take the L. You mess with my money, no problem. No. Look at that. Nope. This energy will be seething pissed when they get this truth. And so will this King of Spades. Look like they're teamed up here. I have to tell you, they're both going to be like tag teamed on this. Looks like these two are aligning together. Has something to do with something really foul that happened online here, coming to light, getting some information, getting access to some kind of messages, potentially around work. 3 people that were working together to cause some kind of major loss for one. All right, see, one broke from the pack. One is breaking from the pack while 2 are being left behind here. Who's it going to be? I feel like this is an action that hasn't been taken yet. But whoever takes that action to bring forward the truth, they're the ones who overcome this opposition and extricate themselves from some drama. I feel like somebody is extricating themselves from some alliance here, some drama, to come toward the person that had been basically sabotaged here, put them in the loop of what's been going on, so together they can kind of tag team this and turn those tables around. Because something that was a source of confusion, something that caused some kind of brutal, bitter ending is coming to light here. That's what I got. So something that's been hidden for a while that created quite a mess of things is coming to light here. It's about to come up and out, but it's like, who's going to out it first? And that might be why this King of Wands is approaching this King of Swords like, hey, you know, can we like work this out? Like maybe trying to show them how it could even work against them. But see, I feel like that King of Wands will just trade places with that King of Swords and like work them, get them caught up. It's like, who can like proclaim their innocence first? But I don't feel like there is total innocence here. That's what I'm seeing with the King of Swords or with the King of Wands. I just see that the King of Swords hasn't been throwing any workings around. Not since, you know, something came to light for them. I feel like that's more this realm of this, like, you know, sort of like King of Wands, Queen of Clubs, like Queen of Cups kind of energy. So there's the Queen of Pentacles there too. That's kind of like, I don't know. This has gone a little too far here. Let me do a cut of the deck. See what we got here. I mean, somebody here is totally standing on business. They're standing alone, it looks like. Looks like they're already aware of something. Yeah. And they're moving forward in alignment here, okay? With the Jack of Hearts. They already saw through some kind of betrayal, some kind of deception. And what's lining up for this person is that main objective that everybody wants. It's this 10 of Hearts. Who's the person going to be that's going to get that? And who's the one who's going to screw the pooch? That remains to be seen. 1:10, 11 on the clock. It's about to go down.